In our last lesson, we learned how Dara Shikoh was made the regent or the de facto Mughal emperor when Shah Jahan had fallen ill, and he was to function in his father's stead. But Aurangzeb had already by this time established himself through his military works, and so he defeated Dara Shikoh in the Battle of Samugarh in the year 1658 to become the 6th Mughal emperor. Now Aurangzeb was another very successful Mughal emperor, and in fact the expansionist policies that were undertaken by Aurangzeb were at the peak, so to speak, because it was during his time that the Mughal empire reached its greatest extent. And Aurangzeb could even be considered the last great Mughal emperor, because following him many inefficient successors now ascended the throne of the Mughal empire. In this lesson, we will be focusing on the rule of the 6th great Mughal emperor, that Aurangzeb was. A point that we need to remember is that even before becoming the emperor, Aurangzeb held important administrative as well as military posts in Shah Jahan's empire, because Aurangzeb served as the viceroy of Deccan under Shah Jahan's rule. He also played an important role in the military affairs when Shah Jahan had launched invasions in the northwestern parts of the subcontinent. So by this, Aurangzeb had already established himself as a powerful military commander. He was not just another warring son who was trying to ascend the throne after Shah Jahan. He served as the viceroy of Deccan, as we just mentioned. At the same time, he was also the governor of Gujarat, and he jointly administered the provinces of Multan and Sindh. So these were the administrative posts that Aurangzeb held during the rule of Shah Jahan. When Aurangzeb ascended the throne in 1658, the Mughal empire was not very strong in the northeastern parts of the Indian subcontinent. We learnt that Jahangir had led military campaigns against the Ahoms in the northeastern parts of the subcontinent, but these military campaigns were not successful. And so immediately after ascending the throne, Aurangzeb ordered Mir Jumla, who was the then Subadar of Bengal, to invade Cooch Behar and Assam in order to re-establish Mughal rule in eastern India. So Cooch Behar is this region, and it is located in the present day Indian state of West Bengal. And the Ahom kingdom was very powerful in the northeastern parts of the subcontinent. And so Aurangzeb had to defeat the Ahoms in order to gain control and establish Mughal dominance in eastern India. So the Ahoms and the Mughals were now embroiled in a state of conflict, and this was followed by the Treaty of Ghilajhariti. This Treaty of Ghilajhariti was signed between the Ahoms and the Mughals in January 1663. Now, what were the terms of this Treaty of Ghilajhariti? The Ahoms were to cede western Assam to the Mughals. They were also to pay a very high war indemnity of 3 lakh rupees to the Mughals. Now this was a very high amount to be paid at that point of time, because it was way back in 1663. At the same time, the Ahom king Jayadhwaj Sangha also had to give his daughter and niece to the Mughal harem. So this is how the Treaty of Ghilajhariti was concluded between the Ahoms and the Mughals. But this is not to say that the Mughals gained complete control over this region, over the Ahom kingdom. Before proceeding with this lesson, let me ask you a question. With whom did the Mughals sign the Treaty of Ghilajhariti? Was it signed between the Mughals and the Sikhs, the Rajputs, the Ahoms, or the Marathas? Well, the correct answer is the Ahoms. In January 1663, the Treaty of Ghilajhariti was signed between the Mughals and the Ahoms. Now, this victory over the Ahoms was short-lived because the Ahoms were not to be suppressed and completely crushed by the Mughals. They kept on protesting against the Mughals, and finally they defeated the Mughal forces in the Battle of Saraighat in 1671 and the Battle of Itakuli in 1682. With this, the Mughals' fate was sealed in this region. The Mughals could no longer gain control of northeastern part of the Indian subcontinent. In the year 1667, the Yusufzais, that was an Afghan tribe, revolted against the Mughal Empire. Now, this Afghan tribe, the Yusufzai, has been constantly posing challenge and opposition to the Mughal Empire since the time of Babur. And finally, in 1667, the Yusufzais revolted against the Mughal Empire. Now, how do you think Aurangzeb responded to this invasion from the Yusufzais? Immediately, he deputed Shamsher Khan to go to this region and defeat the Yusufzais. Well, initially the Mughal troops were quite successful in mounting victories over the Yusufzais. But in some Mughal outposts, these Mughals were defeated by the Yusufzais. And so, Aurangzeb now had to send Muhammad Amin with reinforcements to this region. And with the help of these people like Shamsher Khan and Muhammad Amin, Aurangzeb was able to suppress the Yusufzais, but this victory was also short-lived. That is to say that Aurangzeb did not gain complete control over the Yusufzais. In our discussion on the Mughal Emperor Jahangir, we learned that Jahangir's rebellious son Khusro Mirza posed constant revolt against Jahangir's rule, and he also had fled to Punjab. In Punjab, he was helped by the Sikhs. And so, when Jahangir defeated Khusro Mirza, the fifth Sikh Guru, Guru Arjan Dev, was asked why he helped Khusro Mirza in his rebellion against his father. And Guru Arjan Dev could not give a proper explanation for his involvement in this rebellion. And so we learned that Jahangir had massacred Guru Arjan Dev, and this was the reason why conflict started taking place between the Mughals and the Sikhs. And this conflict between the Sikhs and the Mughals carried on for many decades, even during the rule of the subsequent Mughal emperors. The conflict between the Sikhs and the Mughals persisted even during Aurangzeb's rule, and this resulted in multiple Mughal-Sikh wars. Now, the Sikhs were a very powerful group. They were very valiant and courageous and militant almost. They were not to be crushed by the Mughals, and they wanted to avenge the death of their guru, who was Arjan Dev. And so many Mughal Sikh wars kept on happening. In many of these wars, Aurangzeb's troops emerged successful, but in quite a few wars, the Mughals were defeated, and these wars resulted in Sikh victory. So this was a perennial source of conflict that kept on happening during Aurangzeb's rule. So in this lesson, we have talked at great length how Aurangzeb came to power in 1658 by defeating his brother Dara Shikoh. We learned that Aurangzeb was a great Mughal emperor and he led many military campaigns. But many of these campaigns also ended in short-lived victories or even failures. Having talked about some of Aurangzeb's military campaigns, in our subsequent lesson we will be taking this discussion ahead by talking about many other things in Aurangzeb's rule. And we will also discuss why Aurangzeb was called the last powerful Mughal emperor, because he was succeeded by many inefficient emperors after this. So let us now conclude this discussion on the rule of Aurangzeb, and this is something that we will be taking up in our subsequent lesson as well. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers, or to get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million-plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So register for free now.